Yo, how's it going, everybody? How are we all doing today? Today's video, I wanted to go and do something completely different from what I usually like to cover on my channel. This is still about Grand Arena, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody try what I'm about to do for my video today. It's going to be about my strategy and my thought process between my GAC defense and offenses for what I'm going to set and what I'm going to keep depending on the guy's history. So this might be a bit more of a lengthier video, I know, but I still think it's going to be kind of a fun one. So I think the best way to start this off is, well, firstly, I got to show you guys what I got in my Rancor rewards. And it's not looking pretty, guys. This is my last Rancor challenge here. You got to be kidding me. Can you guys even see this? I mean, this is pitiful. Hang on. Can you guys even see this? Look at that. You guys see this? Do you guys see this? Rank 31, and I get 65 of these projectors. Oh my gosh, this is probably the worst raid ever when it comes to gear. The only thing about this raid is these stupid, relic 8 piece that you need. It's so dumb. Anyways, all right, that's the first thing I want to go over. I'm kind of pissed. I'm a little bit mad. But let's go and talk about some GAC. So coming back into the game, I want to just show you guys how my mind works when it comes to GAC, what I want to set for defenses and offenses I want to keep. So today, this is a new round. This is going to be live on a Wednesday. This is right when the round starts. So if my guy is watching this and he's from the guild I'm fighting, his name is Murin. He's from Pi Reloaded, and I know these guys. I think I've fought them in TWs a couple times. But if they know this, if they're watching this, they pretty much should never lose this round. They should win this without any issues at all. But today, I'm going to show you guys my thought process behind this and what I like to do for offenses, defenses. So my first thing when it comes to this is I love to go and check their history. So if you guys don't have this bot in Discord, definitely get it. It's called the Hot Bot. And you basically just input your code, or the command rather, and it shows you all of the extra and the juicy details that you want. So to show that, I'll show you guys mine. This was from today, and it shows everything. It shows the lifetime of the people that you're fighting. It shows their guild, and it goes and show your GP difference. It shows the mods. It shows everything. So the biggest thing I like to see when it comes to this is just the mods. Mods are a pretty huge thing. So I beat this guy pretty handily, right? And then after that, I go and check my characters, my GLs, his GLs. What do we have? Well, I have 3 GLs. He has 2. His are the Master Luke and the Ray, so we went more light side focused, which means he's going to have some more counters like the Jedi to counter my own Kylo. So when I see this, I'm actually very, very excited. I'm very happy to know that he only has 2, but the 2 he has are a Ray and a Master Luke. So I have actually now, from just knowing that and seeing this, I have a very big advantage, in my opinion, for my defenses and offenses. I can do a lot more. I'm very flexible for what I want to do and use and save. So now, what I like to do next, after looking at our mods, the differences there, and the GLs, I like to go into the other tool here, which is the history tool you can do on SWGoH.gg. And you can go and look in the history of people's GAC rounds. So this is his last week's GAC. So I love seeing their defenses first. So we got to check out the defenses of my opponent. He loves to set a couple of these first order teams, Standard, Grievous, and Padme. But this guy that he fought this one round did not go and test all of his other teams. So it's not a very good round to showcase and see what he used. Another round here, he set Jango Fett and Nest. He set 2 first order teams. And then for ships, he likes using the Radis and the Empire, which are extremely easy for me to counter. So we'll go into that and see what I want to use there. Another Grievous one, he likes Padme and Grievous, and I've been seeing some CLS. So those are very, very easy ones to counter for me. So I'm not too worried about that. And I'm kind of nice. I'm kind of glad, rather, to see and know that that's what he uses for defense. And then the other one, the last round, the most recent one, rather, is another one of Jango, Nest, Grievous, Padme, double first order, and then CLS again. So he's very consistent here. We can go check back another weeks past that, 2 weeks ago, and see if he's consistent with what he sets. And you know what? It looks like he does. However, this round he set his Ray. And I'm not too sure, if I was looking at it, that he sets Ray all the time. It seems like it's more of a hit and miss type of thing. But if he does set Ray, like I said, he only has those 2 GLs for Master Luke and Rey. So if he sets one and he's fighting me with 3 GLs, I have a pretty nice advantage there. I can kind of go and save more teams that are going to be giving more high banner wins rather to kill a Rey. So that's kind of nice. So kind of similar stuff here. Another round win just to make sure, just to double, triple check it all. So yeah, he loves CLS, he loves Padme and Grievous, and sometimes he tosses in Rey. So now I'm going to go check out his offenses from the last weeks, and it looks like he loves Night Sisters, he loves Gas, Vader too as well. He lost one versus Rey, so that's good to know actually. I could probably, if I wanted to, toss my own Rey on defense. And then he likes saving JKR, Geos, Darth Revan. Okay, so a lot of pretty huge teams, a lot of big time teams here, I'd say. Mash Luke's right there, and then he saves both Malevolence and Negotiator. So a nice little trend here, and this is the rounds I love to see. These are pretty standard rounds, I'd say, that I've seen a lot of recently. So another same thing pretty much. Night Sisters, Geos, Master Luke, Darth Revan, JKR. So it's very standard here. He does it very consistently, it looks like. So based off all that, guys, I think now we can go back into the game and kind of get an idea of with what I want to set. So let's go actually take a little peek at his defenses that he does set. So I remember him setting a lot of the Rebels, and out of all those teams he does set, the Rebels are my biggest concern. So in a mirror match, if I wanted to potentially counter a Rebels, I'm going to use my own CLS or using potentially a JKL. So in JKLs, it's a bit lower on the banner, but it is a win. In CLS mirror matches, it's a very high banner win, but you have to make sure that you can outspeed the Han so you shoot first. So if that's the case and I want to potentially use a mirror match, I want to make sure that I can outspeed the Han Solo. So my Han Solo is at 271 speed. Let's see what his is at. 270, wow. So I actually will outspeed him in this one, which is actually very important in mirror matches. So I'll be able to go before their Han Solo with a shoot first, and I can easily win that. So I'm actually, this team right here usually scares me, but now knowing that, I am not scared whatsoever with countering this Rebels team. And also, if I wanted to, I have even more counters to this team. So this is really a non-issue for me at the moment. So I'm very pleased to know that that's how his Han is modded. Okay, so next up, he likes to set a lot is Separatist droids. So let's go check out these guys. Separatist droids, he looks to have a lot of relics on these guys. And he does not set Droideka all the time. He likes to set Newt. And Newt's a bit more scary for my race solo. And if that's the case, I'm going to have to use a 2v5 with Rey and probably Zalbar to take out his Newt, his little Newt team that he sets. So that's that. And for that, let's just check out his stuff here. I like to check out B2. B2 is a pretty scary one. CA, okay, so he kind of has it modded properly, which is a bit scary to see. Let's see his Grievous. Any potency here? No potency. Okay, that's good. That's good to know, because if I wanted to rather potentially use CLS versus that team, it makes a lot easier if there's no potency on the Grievous. So I'm not too worried about Grievous. That's what I'm gonna say right there. I'm not too worried about the Grievous at all. So that's good. That's good to know. The next up here, he likes to set a lot of that we remember is his Padme. So let's go check out his GR right here. So let's see. Padme, he likes setting the team comp with Shaak Ti, Padme, Anakin, Ahsoka, and GK. So let's see the speeds of all these guys. Okay, Padme's 300, pretty fast. Not crazy fast. My Vader should be able to outspeed that. Shaak Ti, though, on the other hand, is 307. Okay. And then everybody else is going to be some higher relics. Nothing too fast there, and nothing crazy fast. So they're a pretty legit modded team, I'd say. I don't use anything huge versus this. That's crazy of a counter. I usually use either a CLS or I use Jedi. And versus this team in particular, I have no issues with beating that team with either of those counters, JKR or the Rebels. So I'm not too worried about that. So those are the big boy teams that he sets. I am not worried about the crew team, the Kylo Ren and Masked First Order team, because he splits up the Hux and he uses Hux in a different team. So versus that team with the Kylo Ren unmasked lead, I'll be using JTR and I'll be able to get my TM and all that sort of stuff going and flowing. So I'm not too worried about that. So now my defenses I'll set. So after knowing all of that, I will now go into my defenses, what I'm going to be setting, what I'm going to be keeping rather for offense. So he has double GL. He likes to ideally save his Mash Luke every single round. So I'm not going to be worried about a Mash Luke on defense. But that means that he has a Mash Luke for offense with some other Jedi. So I probably want to bait out some of his Jedi in the front walls so I can put my Kylo in the back wall so I can maybe bait out and make it harder for him to counter that team, right? So, without me even thinking about my front walls, my first place I'll go and put my team, my first team will be my first order, and that's going straight into the back wall because I want it to bait that whole Jedi team out, right? I need to bait those guys out. So let's just do that right off the bat. That's Kylo. And now I want to think about other teams I can use in the front wall right here to block the Kylo and maybe pull some Master Luke and Jedi teams. So we did see that he has that Grievous team. And I think what I might do here is just to make sure I have a Grievous counter of some sorts is to use a nice little either, I'm thinking here actually, either using a CLS of my own, or I could use to bait out Jedi maybe some Padmes actually, or even potentially Darth Revans. And I think what I might do here is actually pull my Darth Revan in the front wall, potentially either pulling a JKR team or pulling a CLS. So I think those would be really, really nice things to pull away. So I might go and place Darth Revan in the front wall to pull off one of those counters. That's what I want to try to do here. So that's my first team in the front wall. And the biggest thing here is my Rey and where I want to place the Rey, either on defense or keep it for offense. And looking at it this way, I'll be able to have, if he does set a Rey, I'll be able to have my JML counter, my Master Luke counter to a Rey. I will have my Vader, or I could probably just mirror match. But I think I'll just keep it my Rey on defense, actually. So that way I still have two different counters to a Rey. So I could actually go ahead here and set my own Rey on defense. And that's probably what I'll do here. I don't need her for offense. The only issue I think I might have is to counter a Grievous. But in the grand scheme of things, if I can just get through a Grievous, I have full reign of this whole GAC round. It's the only thing I potentially have a chance of losing at. But I still have, what do I got? I got JKR, I got CLS, I got Vader even for a counter to Grievous. I have lots of counters. So I'm not too worried about Grievous's. So that allows me to set Rey on the defense here first. And what I might do here is actually go ahead and probably pull these guys out here, the clones. So if you guys don't know what this is and like kind of what this whole team kind of does, it pulls something a bit stronger. It kind of pulls and forces you to use some Jedi because of the Rex and his tenacity up, right? So it just makes it so it forces rather a Jedi team instead of a Vader team. So this is actually a very, very good thing to use here to pull away from potential Jedi in the back wall with my Master Luke, right? Or with his Master Luke versus my Kylo, right? So let's place this rather in the front wall so it pulls more Jedi counters. So that's huge because now we have a lot we can do here. In our other zones. So this is awesome. I'm very, very excited about this round so far. Okay, next up here I wanted to go and do is set some not as strong teams, but still pretty strong teams. So, for example, Grievous. Grievous is still pretty good. I don't need him for any more feats here. And I'm going to be setting a Newt Gunray because he loves to use Night Sisters versus Grievous. And with Newt here, it makes it a bit harder for the Night Sisters to work. So I'm going to be placing Newt Gunray here. It's a good team to stop some Night Sisters, make it a bit more hard, a bit more RNG dependent. So I like that. I love that a lot, actually. Okay, next up here, I have a couple more teams to use here. Geos, and I have a Mon Mothma. I'm going to actually be in the other back wall with Kylo, be setting either a Mon Mothma or a Geos. And I think what I want to do here is just set Geos here in the front wall with my Grievous team. That way it could potentially pull away a Traya. And that would be huge if I can. So, we got Geos there. And then what I'll do is set another stronger team here. And I think I'll be setting Padme here to try to block the best I can block ships. But it probably won't work as well as I hope. But it's still a good thing here because even if he does happen to go through a Rey, a Darth Revan, then he'll be seeing my Kylo in the back wall. What would he use versus Padme? You know, that's the thing he'll have to figure out. That's going to be a hard one right there. So I'm kind of hoping that he does go for the back wall first, see the Kylo, and then have to make a very big decision with where he wants to use Padme or counter the Padme with his teams because he's going to be kind of out of Jedi. He might use his CLS up, maybe even Vader as well. So it's a good spot for Padme, I feel like, is right there in the front wall blocking the ships. So The last team here I'll be setting is Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma is a great one just to keep them on their toes. It pulls a bit of a stronger counter. Bounty Hunters can beat it pretty easily. Treyat can as well, but I want to try to pull away Treyat as best as I can. Bounty Hunters will just throttle that team anyway, so I'm not too worried or really have much hope that that team will get a hold or anything. It's more of like a placeholder team in the moment at the moment rather. So that is all of the defenses for the characters and squads. So now we'll go into the last thing here is the ships in the fleet territory. So what I'm going to do here is I always like to set GK on defense, but now I just love to keep him for offense. I get more banners pretty much. So what I'm going to do here is set Radis. I have my BTL Y-Wing 7-star, so I can actually use Houndstooth here on defense with these other guys. So I'm going to do that with Poe here. Or actually, rather, I'm going to be setting the TIE Bomber just to make it a bit harder for the Rebels if they wanted to potentially counter this team. So I'll be doing that, and then as the reinforcements, I'll be bringing in the not Race Falcon. I'll be bringing in rather Poe with where is he at? The X-Wing here and XB. I don't really want a fourth one here. I want to make sure one of these three get called in first. I'm not too sure what the order of operations here is for this, but I definitely want these guys to be the reinforcements. The main thing here is TIE Bomber for his burning here to stop some rebels, and it makes it just really hard for them. So let's do that. Okay, confirm that. That's a good defense right there. That's actually a shout out to Blade Baka. I remember him telling me about that team. It's great for defenses. So let's do that there, and then we'll be setting our Akbar home one on the other little zone here. This is a full Rebels team, and actually it's a pretty simple one. Since I have my Biston built up, I can pull this off with Biston, the Rebel Y-Wing, and the Hans Falcon. However, I'm actually going to do Biston, or Biggs first rather, just because there's a bit more synergy here between the target locks. And then my only reinforcement I'll bring in here for the entire team is just the Y-Wing. That way he is guaranteed to come in first and inflict his shield disruption on his special ability, which just can do some big damage. So I'll keep it pretty simple here. My Biston's very fast, and if they try to mirror match with a Rebel fleet, there is no chance they can win. And it can even prove to be a bit hard for GK. They can lose some banners as well. So I'm going to lock this one in. Lock it in. There we go, guys. So that is probably going to do it for my defenses. What does that mean for offenses, though? What does that mean? Well, we can come back here into my squads that I like to keep and look at. So offenses, I still will have a JML to counter a Ray if I need to. I'll have a JKR to kill a Kylo, but in this round there's no Kylo. So guess what? I have so much free reign here to use potentially 3 different Jedi teams, and that's huge. And then if he does happen to set a Darth Revan, well, I have a Vader to counter that. If he doesn't, I can just use Vader to kill Grievous, which is extremely easy. And then I have Bounty Hunters to kill something else. That's pretty easy. I have JTR to counter one of those teams, like his First Order. And then I still have CLS to counter a Padme. And then I have a nice little team I built up in my last week or so, which is the Imperial Troopers. So I can actually beat so many now teams here with the Troopers with how I have them modded. So I have, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams right there, guys. That is plenty enough teams to counter his teams that he has usually set in the past. And it allows me for some pretty good banners because nearly all of these teams can give me some good banners here. Everything here has some sort of protection recovery. And TM capabilities to control the TM and the counters rather. So everything here will be high banners, and then everything I set will pull something very strong in some way, shape, or form. So guys, that's probably going to be it for my video. This is how I usually think about my GAC and just my mindset, my thinking process versus a guy like this. Only 2 GLs, Mash, Luke, and Rey. I'm trying to, my whole goal here in this round is to pull away his Jedi, so that way when he gets in the back wall and he sees the Kylo, he is going to have a hard time. And then in ships, at least, I'm just trying to pull away some rebels, maybe make it a bit harder for him. Nothing too crazy there, but mainly the goal here is to stop his counter to Kylo in the back wall, and that's pretty much what I want to try to do here. So, you know, that's probably it. If you guys would maybe do something different here, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts all down below in the comments. I would love to see them and read them, guys. But yeah. this is what I've been doing like, ever since, you know, GAC has been a thing with the history. So it's been doing me pretty good. I have an okay lifetime. It's nothing crazy. There's a lot of people that are higher than me, but I like to think that I get a pretty good score every single round in GAC seasons. I always hit Kyber, so this is like my strategy for that. If you guys wanted to, you know, adopt this and use it to your own abilities, feel free to. It's just my brain and how it works. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a like, share it around, and if you guys are new here to the channel, feel free to sub. We're so close to hitting that 13,000 subscriber mark, and I'll be so pumped to hit that, guys, if you guys could help me there. We do have Discord and Patreons down below in the description if you guys want to go check out those two things. But that'll do it for me today, guys. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you all later. Peace out and have a good one.